Hello and welcome back to Helluva Podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Audie, the O is silent.
And today we are supposed to be talking about Exes and Ohs, but the Season 2 trailer for the rest of Season 2 of Helluva Boss just dropped, and we might just talk about that with the amount of notes we have.
Yeah.
But we have a little bit of notes for that and a little bit of notes for Exes and Ohs, so we'll see where it leads us.
Well, we have a lot of bit of notes for both, but X's and O's are still in progress.
Yeah, because we knew X's and O's was going to be more than one episode anyway.
Yeah.
So we don't even have that full one noted out.
Yeah. I think we'll try to finish getting through X's and O's by the end of this semester.
Yeah.
But that honestly might still be a challenge because we only have a few episode days left in the term.
Yeah.
So hopefully we won't leave you hanging for like the whole summer or anything.
I also would like to talk about Hellbells next week as well.
Yes, the short that dropped. Hell's Bells.
I said it wrong.
It's about Millie and Sally Mae.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's really cute.
It's really cute and it has a lot of good underlying themes that I think are kind of in a way the team's way of bringing up the issues that people have with Millie. I don't think that's the way to do it.
No, and I'm hoping it means that Sally Mae is gonna be in the show more. And then by extension Millie having more stuff to do.
Yeah.
But the short itself is really cute and really good. So.
I do like the short and I do want to talk about it, but we couldn't talk about short and the trailer. That was not gonna happen.
Yeah. And X's and O's.
Yeah. So just for everyone listening, right now, the most recent episodes, we have to say now because there's multiple things going on right now, is Mammon's Magnificent Musical Mid-Season Special. That's the most recent full episode.
Yes.
Hell's Bells is the most recent short, and then the Season 2 trailer also just dropped today.
It's been a long day, man.
Yeah, we're recording on Saturday. This will drop on Sunday, but it got released yesterday for y'all who are listening to it on our release day.
And there's it's Level Up Con is happening right now, and that's why there's a lot of content being generated. There's also some people have like leaked things from the con, and I briefly mentioned one of those in here. We're not going to go into it because one, it's a leak. Like spoilers, we'll just cover it when we get to that episode when it drops. But I did want to mention
also
that.
the only leaked video that we found, you can barely hear any of the audio because everyone's just screaming. But
you can tell what's happening, and it's pretty huge. So you know, some more business really quick. We have stickers. If you forgot or if you didn't know, we have Helluva Podcast stickers. They are only $3.
Only $3.
$3 sticker.
$3 with free shipping.
In the U.S.
In the U.S. So, like, the $3, most of that is shipping.
Yeah.
And then I think it's $5 for international shipping because it's more expensive, right?
$5 total.
$5 total.
Like $2 shipping, $3 sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, cheap sticker, rep the podcast. They're really cool. We both are repping them. Really good quality. Mine hasn't, like, deteriorated in any way.
Also, some people at our school are repping them, so shout out anyone who bought them at the craft fair.
Thank you, friends. And then also, if you aren't signed up for our newsletter yet, what are you doing? We have the next one. It always comes out on the first of the month, so this Wednesday will be the next one. And if you don't sign up before then, you're not going to get it, so sign up now.
It always has updates on everything we've done in the prior month, a little spiel of what we're going to be doing in the next month, and updates about our personal lives as well. Very brief. It's not like we're not like boring you. But if you are interested in that, and then also fun little pictures.
Yeah. To check out our stickers and our newsletter and everything else that we have going on, go to our Instagram at AA Discussions and see the link tree in our bio.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Season 2 trailer. Let's go.
I just fucking blacked out and did all these notes, so they might be incoherent. So first off, just this actually, we're gonna jump around a shit ton, by the way, because I wrote out all these notes and I tried to separate them by what I think each part, like what episode I think each thing is from, so that might not be fully accurate, and then also we're just gonna be jumping around the trailer a lot.
But to be fair, the trailer jumps around a lot.
Yes, so I did my best. So first, we're gonna start with what's actually at the very end, which is the episode releases for the rest of the year. So we already knew the titles, but now we have like general timelines for when each one's coming out. So in May, which is in just a few days.
Yeah.
We don't know when in May, but in May is the full moon episode. Then in June is Apology Tour. October, so quite a leap between Apology Tour and the next one, but October is Ghost Fuckers, which is like a Halloween episode, I assume. Then November is Mastermind, and then December is Sinsmas, which is a Christmas episode.
Yeah. It's really interesting to me, though, that it goes May, June, nothing, October, November, December.
Yeah, I'm hoping there will be a lot of those shorts over the summer. There probably will be. They're trying to, like, alleviate the time between episodes.
Or you know what? They're probably going to be working on Has Been Season 2 a lot over the summer.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Because they were I think they were recording for that, like, in January.
Yeah, but the animators are a lot of Spindle Horse.
Yeah.
I think that actually crosses over.
Yeah, totally. They probably have, like, a separate team for the shorts.
Yeah.
Like, that's people that aren't with Has Been, to be putting time into
I
that.
also hope we're going to get a lot of shorts. I'm just saying that
Yes.
would also make sense if that's why.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think the shorts are a cool addition.
I think so too.
It'll be nice to have a little bit of content in, like, the dry spells.
As much as I would love them to just come out with an episode more soon than doing the shorts, it is nice to have something.
Yeah.
Also, we have some speculations for the dates for full moon.
Oh, yes.
Because the full moon on the 29th.
25th.
Oh, 25th.
Let me look that up again. Typing sounds. May 23rd, we're both wrong.
Jesus Christ.
Known as the flower moon, and Stolas is stroking that freaking flower
Hey.
dude. Okay, May 23rd, maybe.
Maybe.
I would prefer it sooner than that, but, you know.
Yeah,
makes
we
sense.
were also joking that they are teasing us with the May thing, and it's just gonna be on Wednesday.
Yeah, on May 1st.
We also were worried. We have, like, one strong all-day commitment in May, both of us.
Yes.
And we were like, oh, it's gonna be on that day.
Yeah, that'd be so fucking
But I
upsetting.
think the only full speculations are they're gonna goof us, and it's gonna be that first one,
Yeah.
or it will be the actual full moon.
Yeah. And hey, we don't have any classes this Wednesday, so...
Up top. I have 6 hours of work still, but...
Well, yeah, also, with the screen where they list the episode releases, there's a sigil in the background, and I looked at the Wikipedia page for demon sigils from Hell lore, and it's Stolas' sigils, so that's fun. He does seem to be at the center of a lot of things happening. Like, obviously, Blitz is always at the center of everything, but there's a lot of Stolas, and that's exciting.
I think also, I think it's funny that we refer to it exclusively as Hell lore. We're talking about, like, the mythology of Hell.
Yes. Yeah.
But we call it Hell lore as if it's a piece of media.
Yeah. No, like, yeah. No, you're right. Okay, so jumping into full moon stuff, or at least things that I assume are from the full moon episode, or just very Blitz and Stolas centric. So some of these are just tiny little observations.
You can say starting off strong.
Yeah, Stolas literally twiddling his thumbs. There's just like a shot of him on a couch, literally like twiddling his thumbs back and forth.
Moxie does that in X's and Ohs too. I noted that, which is funny.
Freaking nervous. Yeah. Anyway, next thing has a bit more substance to it. There's a like little magical forecast thing that comes up that says full moon tonight, Pride weather update, partially cloudy, redder than usual somehow. Which, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, redder than usual somehow.
But also, I'm assuming this magical weather forecast is Stolas's, so this is, like, definite confirmation that he lives in the Pride Ring. Which we basically knew and have had reason to believe for a while, but this is, like, concrete confirmation.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Also, the redder than usual, I wonder, does that mean, like, an influx of pride in the air? You know how people say, like, the full moon changes emotions?
Oh, maybe.
And is that what kind of skews Stolas to finally do his thing?
Yeah, true. Next, I wrote, who is this gay-ass red hair and pronouns relative of Stolas? They call him Visago, so I looked him up. He's a Goetia prince in Hell lore, Hell mythology, which makes him one of Stolas' brothers. So, from the Wikipedia page for the Ars Goetia, Visago is the prince who deals in past and future events. He can discover hidden and lost things, and he has a quote-unquote good nature.
The fuck does that mean?
I don't know. I think
good nature.
I think they put it in quotes because, like, it's hell, so who is good in hell?
Oh, okay.
But...
Doesn't he also appear as an angel?
Yeah, it said something about how he, like, manifests as an angel when he appears.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
And he has a good nature. That is really interesting.
Yeah. He's also really faggy.
Yeah.
That's not from the Wikipedia page. That's just from my own observation.
Yeah. No, that's in the Wikipedia page. Descriptions.
I edited the Wikipedia page.
Also, though, having a good nature and hanging with Andralphus is interesting.
Well, that's the next thing, because there's a little clip where he's talking to Andralphus, but Andralphus is like, alright, Visago, like, seems really done with him. So, I'm kind of hoping that this faggy-ass owl ends up being a good guy. I kind of like him.
Wait, he's an owl, too?
Yeah, I like his design. He's funky. Yeah. Or I think he's an owl. He's owl-esque.
I was gonna say, because the owl boy is what fucking Stolas' dad says, so I didn't think they're all owls.
Yeah, I was confused on that, too. I don't fully understand, but, yeah.
Hard pivot.
Hard pivot. Stolas is reading a book called Passion and Brimstone, and it has, like, 2 owl people on the cover, and it looks like straight up gay erotica. At first I thought maybe this was a flashback. I don't know, he just looked, like, younger, or, like, he was wearing an outfit we've never seen him in, and I was like, is this, like, late teen, young adult Stolas reading gay erotica? But then they show a scene later where he's, like, talking to Blitz, and it looks like present day. So I think he's just casually reading gay erotica.
In a new gay little outfit.
While, about to, like, break up with his situationship.
Yeah, honestly, king shit.
Homeboy is going through it, but he's gonna come out the other side strong.
Homeboy reading a gay erotica about a situationship.
Yes.
No, scratch that. It's not gay erotica. It's completely straight erotica. It has Gabriella from Hello Novella in it, being a girl boss. And he's like, so true. I need to be like you, Gabriella.
Got some mood, Gabriella. Yeah. This next part, this is about the clip that got leaked. Should we say what it is, like this part I just highlighted, or should we just not say that, just in case people don't want to know?
Yeah, I think there's not much leaked. If you look it up, there's a video. We can say that it has Blitz and Stolas in the thumbnail.
Yes.
It says, like, Level Up Con, whatever. I don't remember what the title was.
Yeah, like...
You can go watch it for yourself. It does exist. I'm sure more will get leaked. Like, more versions of this video will get leaked.
Unless they get taken down, which is also possible.
Yeah, that's another reason I'm like, it does kind of bridge it. And also, I don't know if I would want, like... I think it would be fair if people didn't want this spoiled.
Yeah, so. Totally. I feel like if we didn't have this podcast and I, like, didn't have, like, analysis reasons to watch it, I wouldn't have watched it personally.
Yeah, so we won't tell y'all, but it's on YouTube. It's easy to find.
Yeah.
But it made us crazy, is all you kind of need to know. And it's Blitz and Stolas related.
Yes. Anyway.
Hard pivot.
Go ahead, you take this one. I'm talking a lot.
I just want someone to care. I want someone to want me.
Stolas. Oh, baby boy. He's been reading too much gay erotica.
He has. But also, like, no one has ever cared about him except for maybe his little nanny guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe.
Yeah.
Because not dad, don't know anything about mom, not Stella.
Octavia does, but, like, that's his daughter.
Also, Octavia's really cold to him, so I don't know that he knows.
Yeah, it's complicated, and even if it wasn't, like, she's not someone that he can and does, like, rely on for emotional support.
Yeah.
Because he's a good dad.
And then Blitz is, like, the closest thing, and until this point, Blitz was, like, what he thought is love and is perfect and good.
Yeah.
And now he's coming out of that, and honestly, so proud of him.
Yeah. Slay. Snaps.
Hard pivot again.
Hard pivot. Look, I said it's all over the place. Alex usually does the notes, by the way. This was, I mean, we wrote the initial notes together, but Alex usually makes them comprehensible. I didn't have him as a filter to put this through. I just put a bunch of shit.
I was working on X's and Ohs, and he was doing this one, and I ended up just stopping X's and Ohs because I was like, bro, you got like 3 fucking pages already.
Yeah, it's 10:30 at night, by the way. Anyway, Blitz is holding a Danky candle. Like, instead of a Yankee Candle, it says Danky Candle. I just thought that was funny.
No, that is really funny. I love the little brand knockoffs in this show.
Yeah, and just the little animation jokes and gags.
Yeah.
Nothing more to say about that, really.
Yeah.
Danky Candle.
Danky Candle.
Hey, don't cry, Danky Candle, okay? And then this is just about Blitz's, like, little outfit in this episode. That's how I like, grouped these a lot, by the way, like, figuring out, like, where the outfits were the same and figuring that those are probably from the same episode, unless it's just, like, their usual attire. But in this episode, he's wearing, like, a bow tie and, like, not his jacket, just, like, his white shirt with the suspenders and then the bow tie. But his, like, mom's skull necklace is the center of the bow tie. And I was thinking this is him, like, getting a little bit dressed up for his date/sex night with Stolas.
Yeah.
And he's, like, excited to see Stolas, and then he's gonna get there, and they're gonna, like, talk and have sex, and Stolas is gonna be like, by the way, here's your crystal.
Yeah, literally.
Like, oh.
Also, like, the vibe difference that's probably gonna happen.
Yeah.
Where Blitz is, like, you know, ready to fuck, just, like, maybe even looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And, Stolas is like, hey, I want someone to want me. Here's a crystal.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Has there been a full moon since, Ozzy's? Like, I really want to know about how much time is passing here.
Because I don't know. I always wonder if Western Energy was on a full moon. Because he had gotten he hadn't gotten the crystal. No. But he was meant to get the crystal.
Yeah. On
that day, so that would make sense. And then he gets out of the hospital and he gets the crystal then. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would... Oof. There's this little, like, animation transition where it shows, like, the silhouettes of Blitz and Stolas as kids, like, holding hands and, like, smiling and laughing, and then it, like, transitions to the silhouettes of them as adults and, like, Blitz, like, letting go of Stolas' hand and, like, stomping away from him, and it's just, you know what I just realized? We actually, maybe next episode should just be Hellbells, and then also, I just realized we never analyzed Look My Way. Holy shit. Okay. And that's really important, I feel. Yeah. Or maybe we could also do, sorry, us plotting the podcast, we could also do that before whatever episode comes out next, because it is the buffer in between. What? Sorry, but... Look My Way is the buffer in between whatever episode comes out next and the last one, and Mammon. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because it got released in between, so we could do either way. But yeah, we do need to actually talk, because you saying that, the separating thing in that video... With the strings. Mm-hmm. So that's why I was like, oh shit, we never talked about that. We should do that. Look My Way and Hell's Bells. We'll get to Exes and Ohs at some point. Well, at some point, yeah. Maybe over the summer? I don't know. The summer will be a whole thing, too. We'll have to... Yeah, there will be no Helluva Boss content, so it would be a good opportunity for us to get caught up, but then we'd have to, like, do work over the summer. Yeah. Also, I'll fully be recovering from surgery. Yeah, that also. I didn't know if we'd said that on the podcast, so I didn't want to... I'm not going to say what kind of surgery, but... Yeah. We'll be bedridden. For maybe more than 2 weeks, so we'll have to see. We'll see. Slight pivot. Then there's this line from Blitz where he says, "You fucks think you can do this every time, like you can just play with our feelings because we're smaller and not as important." He says this with his whole pussy. Teary-eyed, angry. Who is he talking to? Stolas, probably. Really? I don't know. There's a part where he's talking to Stolas in this montage. Yeah. Like, visually? Yes. Unless I'm crazy. I don't know. I kind of went through this frame by frame, and I don't remember. You're real. It does make sense if it's Stolas. I just don't know who else it would be. Yeah. Except I feel like it could be a lot of people, I just don't know logistically. It could be, like, some, like, the Sins. Or some, like, circus person. Yeah. I don't know. No,
I think it definitely parallels circus stuff, for sure.
Yeah. No, you're right, though. I think it probably is Stolas. That, like, didn't cross my mind for some reason.
You're crazy. Why the fuck did that not... That's the whole thing.
I don't think... I think I wrote this at a different time and then put it with the full moon stuff, so I wasn't, like, I don't know.
Well, also just the class divide. That's the whole thing.
No, I know, but I
Sorry,
don't know.
I shouldn't bully you on the podcast.
No, I don't know what I was thinking, just... I think it was too obvious that I was like,
Really?
who could it be? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, then there's a flashback.
During that line.
It's a flashback of Blitz as a teenager, and he's talking to his mom. It's very brief, but you could see, like, her hair, like, she's facing him, and he's crying, like, he's got his braces, so he's definitely a teenager, and he's crying, and his mom is, like, cupping his face in her hands and comforting him, and so that's, like, since this line was chosen to play over this scene, it's like, well, what's the connection? Like, what was he upset about then? Does it relate to what he's upset about now?
Yeah, like, has he just been told that he's small and, like, not good enough by someone? Is it because of the clear class divide in the circus? Mm-hmm. Is it because he's been told that he's not good enough compared to Fizz?
I was gonna say, do you think he's crying to his mom about Fizz?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it about Fizz?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Card, cake, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It would have to be before that.
He breaks down about his feelings for Fizz and
Oh,
writes the
shut
card
up!
and then kills his mom with the fire.
And Fizz, or not kills Fizz, but...
but cries to his mom. His mom's like, you need to
Yes.
confess your
Oh
feelings.
my god, dude. Holy shit. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Then there's Blitz, like, it looks like he's falling off of Stolas' balcony. I wrote this with a question mark. I don't really know what's happening, but he's, like, falling forward and then he stops like he's been caught from behind, like, by his collar or something. I don't know. I don't really know. Could be nothing. Could be something.
Nothing, but also, is he caught by Stolas? Like, whose hand was it?
I would assume Stolas.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who else would. You can't see a hand. It just, the way he stops makes it seem like someone stopped him.
Yeah.
Like, he was falling forward and then he stops, like, leaning. I don't know.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. And then Stolas, while clutching his gay erotica book, says very, like, calmly and coldly to I assume, Blitz, says, do you feel any kind of remorse for what you do? This could also be an apology tour thing, which we'll get into after this section, which we're almost done with. But it's just, he says it so calmly, like, do you feel any kind of remorse for what you do? Like, he's not even crying, not upset, just, like, asking straight up.
Yeah, just trying to figure out Blitz as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, Jesus Christ. Stolas is king of just saying the most, like, fucking heart, soul shattering lines, just, like, so calmly.
Yes. Oh, God. Similarly, actually, this is the line that ends the trailer where he says, thank you, Blitz, for making me so happy, even if only for a little while.
You can't just say that. Stolas, Prince of Goetia.
Yeah.
You can't just say that.
He says it while stroking a flower. Mm-hmm. And the only significance of this flower that I could think of is Western energy when there's all the flowers in the room.
It looks similar. I think it might be like one flower from a bouquet, and that's why it looks a little different, but the petals look really similar. I was wondering if this was like Blitz, like if this is the first time Blitz has seen him since Western energy, if Blitz just gave him like a singular flower. That would be cute. And this is or even just even on Apology Tour, like, I'm so sorry. Yes. Here you go. And then he says, thank you, Blitz. Yes. For making me so happy. Even if only for a little while. And that's the whole interaction. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, Blitz is gonna be, like, trying so hard to, like, talk to him. Like, maybe not right away. He's gonna be, like, angry. But at a point, he's gonna be, like, trying to get back into Stolas' life. And Stolas is just gonna be like, alright, thank you. See ya. Yeah. And it's gonna Stolas be like, is gonna set a boundary, and Blitz is gonna be like, no one's ever set a fucking boundary. Blitz is gonna set a boundary harder. Blitz is gonna be like, we could, like, have some wine and watch a movie or cuddle, or I don't know, just throwing things out there. And Stolas is like, no, I'm alright. See ya. And Blitz is gonna just drop to the floor. Yeah. We'll get to this in a bit, but there's, like, a frame
or a little shot where Blitz like curls up into a ball on his couch. That's after Stolas is like, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I like
in the
to
mirror
imagine.
of that and Ozzy's.
Yes. Okay.
This is a huge pivot, by the way.
Yeah.
The start of this one. The lustring.
Oh yeah. That's everything I have for supposedly the full moon. So moving on to a bunch of lustring scenes, which I think are either in Apology Tour and or the Mastermind episode, which we don't know anything about. There's just some like dramatic things that seem to happen in the lustring that I didn't know what episode they'd be in. So I was like, probably Mastermind. That sounds dramatic.
The big pivot is what I was saying is the first line.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, Fizz has a ... gigantic dildo.
Yeah, it looks like him and Blitz, they're in like a lingerie store, just like a general adult store. There are like bras and then like strappy clothes and stuff hanging up in the background. So it's probably a place in the lustring, so I don't know why him and Blitz are there.
Why are they together? Also, is this the frame where they have the gay little outfits with the overalls?
No, that's a different one, but
Sorry.
that's in the section because I'm assuming it's the same episode. But yeah, then hard pivot, Moxie is jumping away from an explosion. This is also in the lustring, so maybe the same episode, like, happening concurrently to whatever the fuck Blitz and Fizz are doing. But, yeah, and then Millie is being attacked by, like, bullets / mini missile looking things. And it kind of looks like they're shooting out of the arms of a robot person.
Yeah.
Like a robot imp looking thing.
Which is so interesting, and that made me so crazy.
Yeah.
Because of the whole, like, Robo-Fizz and, like, Fizz having, like, robotic limbs and then the disability rep with that. I feel like having a robot imp after all of that progress has been made with that, even if it's a tiny thing, could really go hard either way. And so I'm excited to see how that goes.
Yeah.
But also, who the fuck made this robot?
Yeah.
Who sent it?
Why is it attacking them?
Yeah.
In the fucking lustring, just out in the open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what makes me think it's, like, towards Fizz. Because of the lustring. Because they wouldn't go to lustring for Millie, Moxie, or Blitz, really.
Yeah. Also, the imp, we don't really get a good look at its face, and maybe it's just because it looks like an imp, but it kind of looks like Blitz.
Yeah.
Like, just like the head shape.
Robo-Blitz and
Robo-Blitz, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we know it's not Robo-Fizz, we know it's not Kitty from Has-Been, because it doesn't look like
Yeah,
them.
and it's not a Fizzbot. It's, like, something totally different. It looks like a purely antagonistic robot.
Yeah, and
attacking.
I made the joke that it looks like the tallest from Invader Zim.
Yeah.
Because it really does.
It really does. If that thing is voiced by... Well, Richard Horvitz doesn't voice the tallest, but, you know, Invader Zim.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were wondering if the robot was made by Mammon, since, like, he has the Fizzbots manufactured, so, like, now that he doesn't have a deal with Fizz, maybe he made a new robot and he's trying to get revenge or something.
Yeah.
I don't know why it would be an imp specifically, or why it would even look like Blitz specifically, but I don't know. Could be something. That's the only guy we know who makes robots. Unless it's a Wally Wackford thing.
Oh.
Shit.
Genuine realizations on the podcast.
Yeah. I love when we're just chatting and then we're like,
Oh. No, because normally we have really in-depth conversations about everything before we go on the air, but this like, just dropped.
Today. Yeah.
So...
We're figuring this out in real time.
Yeah.
I also, there's I don't know that they'll ever be important again, but those fucking guys from the Cherubs episode, the, like, inventor guys.
Yeah.
They were in hell. I don't know why they would have made a robot to attack them.
Yeah.
Or maybe it wasn't meant to attack them and it just did. I don't know. I was
no, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know why they would make one of Blitz, though, or, like, a Blitz adjacent, because didn't Blitz help them?
Yeah, he did. I don't think it would be them. I said, like, Mammon's the only guy we know who makes robots, and then I was like, that's not true. There are other people who make robots. But I feel like Wally Wackford, because we have speculated about him and Blitz having a history.
Yeah.
So if it was sent for Blitz and, like, made to look like Blitz or something like that, might make sense.
And that would be a hell of a twist, too, because Wally's just kind of there all the time.
Yeah.
And not with any, like, character or, like, direction towards people or whatever. Like, there's no he has no feeling towards anyone necessarily.
Yeah.
So for him to, like, attack Blitz or Millie or Moxie would be fucking crazy.
Yeah. I'll be so glad if we've correctly predicted the Wally Wackford thing. If this show, like, ends in several years and he just never does anything plot relevant, I'm gonna be so annoyed. Luna is also there. There's a frame later in the trailer where it looks like she's holding some kind of weapon. She's like, we see her from behind and she's like at an angle so we can't see what it is, but she's holding some weapony looking thing. And then she's facing a building called Coxcomb Resort, and then it explodes. I was wondering if that's
Coxcomb and it explodes.
Yeah. But yeah, I was wondering if that's where Blitz and Fizz are, looking at the sex toys and shit. I mean...
Resort, though, that makes me think of the hotel, too.
Yeah, I thought that also. We'll get to the hotel. That's in the Ghost Fuckers episode. But I would think that episode takes place on Earth. Actually, there's a frame from that episode that we'll get to later, but it very much looks like Earth. Like when they step outside, you see more. So there's like a car and like it's. But
also, a resort is such a funny word here because I feel like where they were with the lingerie and stuff seemed more like a store, which can be at a resort, especially if it's like a coxcomb. It's like a sex resort or something.
Yeah, totally.
But also, like, what else is at that resort?
Yeah.
Like, why are they there?
Yeah. Bit of a quick pivot to Verosica's stuff. This is more, definitely apology tour things, but also seems to be in the lustring. That's why it's grouped in with this stuff. But Verosica has, like, a voodoo doll looking thing of Blitz.
Which is crazy.
But based.
No, based, but, like... I want to know how bad Blitz fucked her up that she has why it's like kind of her whole thing now is hating Blitz.
Yeah.
Like that's bold.
I hope we learn in this episode, in Apology Tour. But yeah, she literally chops the head off of it.
Yeah.
And then I can't tell from the way the trailer is framed. It might be two different scenes, but then like right after she does that, it like zooms in on Blitz behind bars, like in the same room as her. And like, did she lock him behind? I don't know what's happening. They could be two unrelated events. I don't really know.
That would be crazy though.
Yeah. She like sees him in public. She's like, "That's it. This is the fucking day."
Boom.
Yeah. But I think it is the same scene because she like chops the head off and then he's like staring like, yeah. So it would make sense.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
That is crazy. I'm very excited to see the context of that.
Yeah. Then there's just this conversation between Verosica and Blitz that I just really like, where she goes, "You are so shitty," and he says, "Everyone's shitty. Hello, we live in hell." and while he's saying that, the trailer cuts to Mammon doing double middle fingers.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that tracks. Then while he's saying that line, he's talking to Verosica, and he has like a white blanket around his shoulders that has bloodstains on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that's about, but that comes back multiple times throughout the trailer in like very different contexts. So we'll get to that.
I was gonna say there's I think also the what you just said. Sorry, I read it as a different thing later because I'm jumping around a little bit. But is also in a scene with Stolas, which makes us think that Stolas is also en route for Apology Tour.
Yes.
Craziness.
Yeah.
But we're at the scene now. What are they looking at when they're wearing this suspenders?
Yeah. So Fizz is wearing rainbow pants and suspenders, like a he's dressed like a respectable gay man who I have nothing but respect for. And Blitz has a tote bag that's with a horse on it and it says Hans.
And I like that it's a tote bag.
Yeah.
They are serving so much cunt.
So much cunt, so much faggotry.
Yeah.
I've decided I'm saying the F slur on the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was before, but I am.
You did last episode.
Okay.
But yeah, it's because also Blitz has the suspenders on, which I feel like outside of sexual context we haven't really seen.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
The things this podcast makes us say out of sexual context. Yeah. But they're facing, it's like this heart-shaped entryway with a curtain, and like the curtain is rising, but then it cuts to a different scene before we can see what's behind the curtain.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is. I like put it in 0.5 speed and like paused every single frame to see as much of it as possible, but we just can't see it yet. So.
I'm wondering if maybe, like, after everything goes to shit, he just goes, like, with Stolas, he just goes to Fizz and it's like, hey, let's hang out, and Fizz just shows him all of Lust, or, like, just, he just follows Fizz around like a puppy dog.
Yeah!
That's what I'm imagining is happening.
Yeah.
Like...
Especially if they're at that resort.
Yeah.
And also with Luna being the one facing the resort, like if Blitz is in there and it explodes.
Yeah.
And she has a moment of like, no, like my dad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose my fucking
to parallel
mind.
fucking Seeing Stars, dude.
Ugh, yes. And then yeah, there's the bloody white blanket is back, but this time like Stolas is in frame with it. So implying that like Either the bloody white blanket, like, it's an apology tour thing and Stolas is in the apology tour, or this is just from a totally different episode. I don't know. And then there's another clip where Blitz has, like, the bloody blanket, like, thrown around him, like, he's, like, kind of cuddled up in it, like, swaddled in it, and he's looking at Stolas, and Stolas is, like, laughing, and Blitz's face is just, like, awed and in love, and then the dialogue that plays over that is Blitz saying, I don't want to be this way, not forever, which is just fucking I
don't want to be this way, not forever.
Yeah. So that makes sense for apology tour.
Yeah,
themes.
Also this fucking season, like these episodes, I know are gonna this season already.
Yeah.
But the rest of the season as well is gonna deliver so many fucking lines.
Yeah.
Like We should make, like, a tier list of quotes for season 2. I was gonna say season 2 for so far, but it's us, so that's not gonna happen till the end of season 2.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that's it for the Lust Ring apology tour / mastermind ? Stuff. So moving on to Ghost Fuckers. Which is the Halloween episode, which will definitely be a Ghostbusters parody. They still could have called it Ghostbusters. That also sounds sexual.
Yeah. Copyright maybe, but also Ghost Fuckers. I would like to think there's a line similar to Horse Fuckers in this.
Yeah.
And that's why it's called that.
Yeah. But yeah, Blitz literally has on like a Ghostbusters-esque device, like a thing that you would suck ghosts up in, and then in his other hand he's holding a vibrator that I don't know if that's relevant.
I don't, yeah, like just scaring them maybe?
Yeah.
Ooh, sexuality.
Yeah, this episode seems to take place in a haunted hotel.
Sick, to be clear.
My husband hotel. My haunted hotel. Charlie Morningstar around the corner. No, but yeah, so I'm wondering why IMP is there, like if it's for work purposes or something else. Probably for work because it's on Earth, but then like what business do they have in a haunted hotel? Who are they trying to kill?
Yeah.
And then also they do have to sneak in. Like Blitz uses a fake ID that says Bethany Ghost Fucker. I'm famous. This is a real ID. Penis drawing. And he's in costume as Bethany Ghost Fucker, aka he's in a wig and has a hat on that has a little ghost.
Yeah, he very well could have like gone with something that was more himself too. He chose to be Bethany and wear a wig.
Yeah, this show loves making the men do casual drag.
Yeah, true. And the women sometimes.
And the women, yeah. Yeah, and Blitz is like in this disguise and you just see Millie's face behind him just so unimpressed.
Yeah, like the straight face emoji.
Straight face emoji. Yeah. Oh, and also, like, are they there to try to get rid of the ghosts? And why? Because there's the part where there's, like, the old people, and Blitz is, like, trying to suck them into his ghost machine, and then Millie is like, no, they're alive. So what are they there to do?
Yeah, are they trying to, like, take the souls back? Is that the thing? Like, to hell?
I really don't know. Yeah.
Okay, before we go to the next point, I'm going to pause the podcast and blow my nose.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, podcast listeners, I have a nasty cold.
Oof.
Alright, so, where were we?
We were at, who is this fucking hotel dude with the weird hair?
Who is he?
Who is he? Yeah.
Did you write anything? You just wrote that?
I'm mentioning him a bit later. But yeah, he's like the dude running the hotel or something. He's the guy that Blitz shows the fake ID to. So I don't know. But then later, we'll get to that in a second. There's like this clawed hand that comes around a corner that kind of looks like Chaz's. Which Alex pointed out, or just like a general like shark dude.
Yeah, it's like shark clawy hands. I thought it was Chaz at first, but then I was like, wait, he's dead. But if it's a ghost...
And it's a ghost. It's the ghost hotel.
It would be fucking crazy if Chaz came back in the ghost hotel. Yeah. Because why the fuck would he be there? But also, why the fuck wouldn't he be there?
Yeah.
Also, he has beef with all three of those motherfuckers, Millie, Moxie, and Blitz.
I don't think Moxie's there. I think this is just Millie and Blitz this episode, is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, is a little... Like, because why would Chaz be there? But then, like, he does have history with Millie... like, notably, and then him and Blitz have, I don't know, I feel like it would make more sense if Moxie was also there, but I don't think it's something to rule out.
Yeah, I also think, like, everything we're going to talk about with Millie and Blitz later on makes more sense if Moxie isn't there.
Yeah.
But also, just why wouldn't he be there? Like, what would the reasoning be?
I don't know. I mean, we've seen things that are just Blitz and Moxie, so...
Yeah, but I feel like what I'm saying is I feel like we never see Millie without Moxie, quite frankly, and then also we never, like, it's never Blitz and Millie.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Moxie is always there, so I'm not saying it's ruled out, it's just interesting.
Yeah, I think that's probably why they're doing it, though, since they haven't shown us that dynamic much.
Yeah.
Then back to the hotel guy. I did have other things to say about him. There's like this really honestly creepy scene where like it's this creepy ghost figure with glowing eyes and a glowing mouth, like kind of glitching down the hallway while Blitz is shooting at him. And then there's a scene like they show like the end of this scene a little bit later in the trailer where it turns out to be the same guy as the hotel guy.
Yeah.
Maybe he's possessed. Or maybe he's just been a ghost the whole time. I don't really know. Oh, spooky. But possession is definitely gonna be a thing that happens because Millie attacks Blitz.
Yeah.
And it's definitely in this episode because she's wearing like the same hat that she is in this episode, and there's like a ghost device thing on the ground. But then there's dialogue over this scene where Millie is saying, "You always take from those around you and leave them worse and more broken than you found them," which, like...
Jesus Christ.
And if she's possessed, like... I mean, there's obviously still truth to that. Just she might be saying it against her own volition.
Yeah, because also, if the secret agents and the cherubs are somehow working together also with this hotel guy, I think that possession is more likely, but I don't want to rule out the use of truth serum.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's in tandem, if it's with possession, like, whatever, it ends up being, but that, it seems very reminiscent of the Truth Seeker scene.
Yeah, I feel like they probably aren't going to do the same thing twice, like, with the truth venom, or truth serum, but I feel like it probably is meant to echo that in some way, and I'm excited for that. There's also a part where Millie is, like, covered in blood, her hands are tied, there's a stick in her hair, and her eye is, like, stuck with glass, and is that real? Is it some sort of ghost illusion?
Yeah.
Is she gonna lose an eye? I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So that was worth noting.
Yeah. Hopefully she doesn't die.
I doubt it.
Yeah, or, like, something, like, horribly injured or anything.
Yeah, and then there's a part where Blitz is also likely possessed, where he jumps out of the water with, like, his eyes glowing. So yeah, I'm thinking, like, a Truth Seekers-esque bad trip type thing, but with Blitz and Millie. I don't know what he would say to her is the only thing. I'm curious. I could also
100% see him saying something cruel to her about, like, not spending time with him, or, like... Because, like, you know how he's always, like, trying to butt into their relationship and everything, and then she just breaks.
Yeah.
Snaps.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. It'd be really cool. Like, I'm sure that her attacking him is the result of the possession, but if the dialogue is just, like, her actually saying that, that'd be kick-ass. It'd be kick-ass and crazy. Yeah, and then there's Blitz dialogue, which I'm assuming is in response later. He says... "I destroy everything. I make everyone's lives worse." And he, again, whole pussy in that line. And he, like, this is, like, him and Millie are outside, probably, like, outside of the hotel, like, probably towards the end of, like, everything that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
And he, like, crouches down and is, like, very clearly emotional, and Millie is looking at him very concerned, and it's probably the first time that she, or really anyone other than Fizz, has ever seen him like this.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, no, it is very reminiscent of "it was an accident"
Yes.
line.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, just all of Blitz's, like, lines, like, that have montage under them in this trailer are so, like, Brandon Rogers is great, and we've heard a lot. I think, like, definitely seen even improvement just over the show's course. But these lines, holy shit, acting-wise.
Yeah. No, sometimes I'm like, Brandon Rogers, like, he's good at voicing Blitz, but, like, I don't think of him as, like, I don't know, like, a hard hitter, I guess.
Yeah.
But he really can hit it.
Yeah.
Like, because the show has, like, crazy talent on it. Like, Broadway stars and Richard Horvitz, and that's like, oh yeah, Brandon Rogers, like, he's big on YouTube. Like, no offense, just, like, you know, there's people that are, like, genuine professionals at this.
Yeah.
But then, like, he's really fucking good sometimes.
Yeah.
Or in general, like, he's really good, but then every once in a while it's like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, it's like, how the fuck did you do that?
Yeah.
You inflicted so much pain in me with your voice. Holy shit.
A more subtle one, because it's not as, like, his voice isn't, like, as full of emotion in this line, but in the "he can get hurt" line.
Yeah, dude.
When that episode dropped, I just kept rewinding and like, watching and listening. I was like, holy fucking shit.
The "he can get hurt" with the animation, too, with the eyes.
Yes, he can get hurt. God.
Dude, it's
so
good. Making me a crazy.
Making me a crazy. And then the last thing we have for the Ghostfuckers episode, which might not be this episode, but there are pumpkins in the frame, so I was like, alright, Halloween episode, maybe. But it's Veronica is having, like, it's Veronica and Vortex are there having, like, a concert of sorts, and, like, the curtain says Blitzo sucks on it, but then front and center is Stolas putting his pussy into singing something, so I guess Stolas got invited to the Blitzo sucks concert and then just decided to sing. I don't know. So
funny. Also, dead naming him on the podcast. How fucking dare you?
Well, Veronica dead named him.
Right, okay, but just because Veronica dead names him?
I'm sorry. Listen, I respect women. I respect her choice.
But you don't respect trans men. I see.
No. I don't. Anyway,
Secret agents.
Secret agents and cherubs working together. We fucking predicted this. Yes. I don't know which episode this would be. Out of, like, just based on episode titles.
For podcast listeners' reference, that's the title of this section of notes.
Yes.
That's not just a note we read out word for word for fun.
Yeah, that's the title. Yeah, I don't know what, unless it is, like, related to Ghostfuckers, like you were saying, but...
Yeah, it could be Ghostfuckers, it could be the one we know nothing about, it could be Sinsmas.
Yeah, Sinsmas, I didn't see anything at all Christmassy in this trailer.
They probably haven't started animating that one yet.
Yeah, or they started, but it's very much more in progress.
Yeah. Because that's the one, that one's not coming out till December, like, they've got time.
Yeah, it seems like, the trailer is primarily Full Moon Apology Tour and Ghostfuckers, which are the first three that are coming out. So that makes sense. Maybe Mastermind, I'm not sure. But that one's November, so yeah. But yeah, so this is Secret Agents and Cherubs. I really hope we said it on the podcast. I think we did, but we fucking predicted that the Cherubs and Agents 1 and 2 would end up working together. So,
we did.
A win for us.
Yeah,
we don't get everything right on here, but we got that one.
I think it also started as a joke, honestly, because we were like, oh, like, we were talking about, like, everyone who's gonna come back, and we were like, oh, it'd be funny if all the little guys come back together.
Yeah.
And then we were like, wait.
Yeah.
Cherubs and Truth Seekers, that would make sense.
That would make sense. Yeah. So that's exciting. Yeah, it does look like the Secret Agents first tried to hold the Cherubs hostage because, like they eventually end up working together, but first they get shot with the same, like, electrical shock thing.
Yeah, so do you think the Cherubs, like, sought them, because later, because there is that scene that's like, we want to wait till they come back to Earth, so do you think they sought them out, or do you, and still got electric shocked, or do you think they got found by the Truth Seeker people?
I don't know. tiny note in between, Agent 1 did a drawing of Blitz with his giant pussy destroyer gun. That's just... That doesn't matter.
Yeah, the fact that that's the one, though, they drew the pussy destroyer.
Yeah.
Also, it being named Pussy Destroyer, yeah, I think that would destroy a pussy. But a lot of other things also.
I think a shotgun could destroy a pussy. Like, it didn't have to be that big. Yeah. There's that line that you were saying, we lay in wait for them to return to Earth, one of the cherubs says. So, I was wondering, what have they been doing on Earth this whole time? Do they have human disguises or anything?
Yeah. And then I brought this part up.
Yeah, go on.
Why... So... The cherubs, what happened with them? Like, they're not allowed to enter heaven again. We know that. But they didn't fall.
Yeah.
Because they're not in hell. Mm-hmm. So they're just trapped on Earth. And why didn't they fall?
Yeah.
Why are they just trapped on Earth? And what does that look like? And, like, is that something that happens regularly with angels and other people in heaven? Mm-hmm. Or is that just a one-off thing? Like, that made me crazy with, like, has-been lore.
Yeah.
It's like, if they're so bad that they're not allowed back, why didn't they fall?
Yeah. It's weird. They've been, like, trapped in some kind of limbo. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe at some point after this, I'll look up, like, in heaven mythology, if cherubs differ from angels and that they can't fall. I don't know if that's anything. Yeah. And then there's also, they say the line, I think the cherubs did seek out Agents 1 and 2 because there's also a line that I forgot to write down that they say, like, we wanted to see people with more expertise.
Okay.
So they know that the agents have dealt with Blitz and the others before. Yeah. So I think they definitely seek them out. And then the the agents are probably like, zap, 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 but then they talk to them and they're like, oh, okay.
Real. Oh, also, just realized that we're gonna get so much Vivzy voice acting if we have the cherubs back.
Yeah. Yeah, and then also the cherubs say that they want to smite them once and for all about Blitz and the others. Does that mean, like, literally smite? Like, they can still smite people even though they got kicked out of heaven? Or did they just say smite instead of kill because that's how they typically think of killing, like, being in heaven, you know?
Yeah, that is a good a good question, because I don't know, because, like, I mean, I guess if I were to use the phrase smite constantly, I would probably still use it.
Yeah.
But then also, like, do they have powers if they're not? Like, are they still the same beings, just not in heaven?
There's a frame, I didn't write this down, but there's a frame where they still have their halos, which is interesting.
Yeah, no, I was thinking because they didn't fall.
They didn't fall, yeah.
So do they still have all of the divine power, just they're not allowed in heaven because they broke the peace?
This very quick Google search from Wikipedia says that if they stop praising God, they fall. So, yeah, maybe there's a distinction between, like, just generally, like, fucking up and then, like, questioning God. Like, maybe that's the distinction between falling and, like, other consequences. I don't know.
Yeah, I think also, like, if we're thinking in context, like, the other big person, like, the biggest person that fell is fucking Lucifer, right? Yeah. And I think that is very directly, like, from questioning God and God's creation. Yeah. And so...
And when we inevitably see Emily fall next season,
it'll 100%
100%, yeah. So that makes sense.
But no, that's so fucking interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But so yeah, do they just get... Because, like, another big thing about heaven is they're so keen on keeping the peace. Mm-hmm. So not letting them back in makes sense because they're like, we can't let anything that's even a little bit of a loose cannon in. Yeah.
Maybe it's more of like we're not gonna damn you to hell, but also we can't associate with you anymore. You can't sit with us.
Yeah, essentially. But also letting them keep their divine power on Earth is crazy.
Yeah. If that is the case.
Yeah, but halos, that's typically what that indicates. Yeah. That being said, now that we're gonna get really into has-been stuff here, but that being said though, when Lucifer meets Vaggie, he looks for her halo. So that makes me wonder if halos can be in heaven hell and Earth.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also, like, we have to keep in mind, like, the lore in an ideal world would be consistent across Helluva and Has-Been, but that just might not always be the case because they're owned by different people.
Yeah.
So, like, falling might just not, it just might not, I don't know, it just might not line up with what falling, how it works and has been, which is unfortunate, but
it might.
But it might. And I think there's probably reasoning for it either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Then there's also just this really quick part where Blitz does finger guns at agents 1 and 2 through a portal back to hell. Like, he's going back to hell and he flips them off. So I was just like, in terms of where that happens in the episode, is that, like, at the end of the episode, like, he got kidnapped by them again, but now he's escaping and he's like, fuck you? Or is he just, like, popping in to make fun of them? Like, randomly
I hope
unrelated?
so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I think it's the first one, but I really hope it's the second one. Also, in that part, it's talking about, like, how he was when they had the first encounter, right? Mm-hmm. And so it is really interesting that they chose to put that there because it's very clearly not from the first encounter.
Yeah.
Because in that encounter, Stolas is carrying him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hope he just and then leaves.
Yeah. Okay, this next part I'm very, very intrigued by. So, because I think, like, general series plot-wise, this is probably gonna be a big thing rather than, like, just a this episode thing. Mm-hmm. So there's a part where it's like the cherubs and the agents are facing this giant flaming portal that has, like, red lightning coming out of it. And then it cuts to, like, Blitz, Millie, Moxie, and Luna are, like, you see, I kept rewatching it, I was like, what is happening here? Because you see, like, this shadow of a circle growing, like, over them, and I was like, what is that? And then I was like, oh, it's the portal. They're watching this portal open, and they look, like, terrified.
Yeah.
So either they've just never seen something like that before, or they know what it is and who's gonna come through it. But also, I'm thinking the giant shadowy dude from later in the trailer, who may be the Sin of Wrath. He has, like, orange flames in his arm, and this is, like, an orangey red flaming portal. I'm thinking he might be coming through it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But
the Sin of Wrath using a portal is so fucking extra, but real.
Yeah.
But also, if it is a Wrath portal, both Millie and Moxie would probably know.
That's true.
Maybe, I don't know necessarily Moxie, but Millie definitely.
Mm-hmm. Maybe even Blitz isn't from Wrath. I don't know. Yeah.
But also, if Wrath, the sin of anger and revenge, was opening a portal in front of me, I would be terrified.
Yeah, yeah. And then the only other speculation I had was Stolas is coming to rescue them again, but with even more flair. I doubt it, but I don't know. Flair. Yeah. But yeah, from this, it seems like all 4 of the IMP people get trapped at the secret agency place. It's not like just Blitz and Moxie and then Luna and Millie come to rescue them. Yeah. It seems like all 4 of them are, like, in it this time.
And Luna's never been stuck in a situation with them, has she?
No.
Yeah, except for kind of seeing stars, but not really.
Wait, with who?
With, like, the group. Like, she's never been stuck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Because Blitz's whole thing is he doesn't let her go on stuff. Mm-hmm. But... Yeah.
And I would love to see a bad trip sequence with Luna and Millie.
Yeah.
That'd be so fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Then there's a little montage of ways that Blitz has made people's lives worse. Which it's grouped in this portion of notes because it's like Blitz watching it on a big green screen that is similar to the screens we've seen at the agency headquarters in Truth Seekers.
Specifically like at the very end where there's the 4 screens or more, might be more than 4.
It's 4.
Oh yeah, and they flicker out and then like Stola stays for a minute. That whole thing that we went crazy about, it's like the same exact thing.
Yeah. And also like considering they have the power to make like truth serum and stuff, if they have the power to make like, because this looks like a montage of memories. Yeah. So that's something that they would probably be capable of.
Which is crazy. Like, the fact that they could just... Like, you get fucking kidnapped and they just play the things that traumatized you most in front of you.
Yeah. Crazy. That's, like, my favorite little situation to put all my characters in. Like, when they, like...
It's probably Vivzi's, too.
True. Or just... I don't know. I love that trope. It's so much fun of, like, oh, magic spell, now you're reliving all of the most traumatic moments of your life.
What's that say about you?
Anyway, so
anyway, back to Blitz's trauma, not yours.
Not mine. But no, the first thing that Blitz sees is Fizz on fire, like actively on fire from the circus fire.
Great way to start.
Great way to start. And then it's Fizz there's Fizz in the background in a hospital bed, like right after the fire. Like his horn's broken. He looks physically burnt. Like, and then Cash is there, which is upsetting, but he survived the fire. This shows.
He's also right in front of Blitz, like, first of all, very close to him, which is alarming, because I don't think we've seen them that close other than when he's grabbing him. And I don't know if he's talking to him, but it's like, it's very much like this half of the screen is a very close up Cash, and then the other half is like everything else.
Yes. Yeah. Cash looks angry and like disappointed, probably telling Blitz to his face that everything that happened is his fault.
Yeah. You can't do anything right.
Can't do anything right. Yeah. Literally the line that Blitz was saying about how he makes everyone's lives worse, and what Millie said about how everyone leaves more broken than literally just fears being proven right.
Yeah.
And then the last two things that we see, it's both Fizz and then Veronica from Ozzy's. So 3 of the 4 clips are of Fizz, which is so telling.
Yeah, and then we also see Fizz and him getting along in other clips of this trailer, so it's so interesting.
Yeah, Blitz is clearly still, like, crisising about it and, like, feeling just the soul-crushing guilt of it all, but, like, Fizz is, like, not fully moved on, because how do you fully move on from that? But he's like, we're, like, pals again, and they're, like, hanging out, it seems.
It's the line of, like, fuck you still, but, like, I'm not broken, or whatever that line is.
Yeah, what a great line. And then we're on the last section, which is just things that I didn't know where they would fit in.
Real.
So the trailer starts with a shot of the IMP building, and the building has imports on it, which we've seen before. And, like, it makes sense. But then there's another building in the background that has an import on it, and I was like, I don't know, what building is that? Yeah. I was just curious. But that's not really important, probably. But then it shows these freaking hooded figures. Yeah,
it, like, opens with that. It's like, who the fuck are those bitches?
Who are these bitches? I'm really curious if it's, I don't know.
And they just don't touch upon that. Like, there's no other context for that. It's just those guys.
We never seen them again in the trailer, so I'm curious how big of a deal they'll actually be. And then Moxie, Blitz crashes the car. Moxie says, "I fucking hate you so much, Blitz."
It caught me so off guard. Because, first of all, I don't know that Moxie has said a line this strong before. Ever.
It's so intense.
Like, even to his dad. When he was, like, being like, I'm not doing it, Dad. That line is not this intense.
Yeah.
Like, he puts his whole pussy into this for no reason. Like, it doesn't, like, obviously he crashes the car, and that's not great.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Like,
I mean, I think they're trying to escape something.
Yeah.
So...
That's true.
Possibly the hooded bitches, but I don't know.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we've had more emotional moments, and this has more fucking oomph, and it's terrifying.
Yeah.
And then the Blitz part.
Yeah, he says Blitz. Someone in the YouTube comments pointed out that, like, he says, I hate you so much. Like, so, like, either Moxie was dragging it out because he was gonna say sir, or just that was, like, the show trying to, like, make us think he was gonna say sir, and then he says so much Blitz. Like, it's just either, even if it wasn't intentional, I the first time we watched it, I was like, wait, he called him the right name.
Yeah, and, which is so, that was also the first thing I noticed, because I was just doing the fucking X's and Ohs notes, and that's like a whole fucking thing in that episode. But yeah, so, like, the parallels makes me crazy.
Yeah. And we really haven't heard him say Blitz's name very much, even after Truth Seekers with the you know my name, use it. Anyway, then we have Moxie saying about IMP, business is actually in a peak and it would be disastrous to lose what we've worked for now, implying that something is threatening their business, or that maybe Blitz is doing something to threaten their business.
Yeah.
Or maybe, like, the hooded figures have something to do with it. I don't know. But you pointed out that this contradicts the Hell's Bells short.
Yeah, because in Hell's Bells, when Millie's talking to Sally Mae, and it's possible that she was just saying this, I want to make that clear, but she says, business is actually really slow right now. And so that really contradicts, like, is there a time skip? Or is there a sudden peak, like a sudden spike up in business?
Yeah. I mean, we don't know when Hell's Bells is set, or when this episode is set.
I was gonna say, this could also be, like, the, like, full moon, and then, like, whatever one is after that. And then if this is, like, that, the next episode, you know, like, that's a significant amount of time.
Yeah, totally.
For it to get at a peak. So, but that, I thought that was just, because I had just watched Hell's Bells, so I was like, what?
Yeah. Then there's this little clip that is so intriguing to me, where there's, like, the shadow of a giant hand reaching towards Blitz and Stolas, and Blitz is holding a sword and protecting Stolas.
Yeah,
outside of
a
Stolas'
fucking
castle,
sword.
Perhaps, from what it looks like. What the hell is going on here?
Do you think the sword was from the castle? Like, do you think it's, like, an ancient weapon of sorts?
Maybe. Interesting. Yeah.
Or is it, like, a special sword?
Yeah.
With, like, fucking royal shit on it or whatever? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know who's attacking them. The only idea I had was giant shadowy dude who's maybe the Sin of Wrath. I don't know. And I also... Go ahead.
Wait, if it's... Sorry, this is not a full-formed thought, but if it is a royal weapon of sorts, do you think it's something angelic?
Ooh. Maybe, it didn't look it.
No, but, like, maybe they're fighting something angelic, and it might not be, like, what is it?
Camilla Carmine?
Camilla Carmine?
Yeah.
Yeah, Carmine is what I was looking for. It might not be Carmine, but it might be something else. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, the other idea I had, and this maybe comes from my Voltron trauma.
Right.
Because,
great way to start a sentence.
Because what Voltron would do with a lot of its trailers is it would, like a lot of the clips would be, like, dramatic, and they'd be from actual dramatic moments, but then, there was one season in particular where there were some clips in the trailer that were like, holy shit, they have, like, whole new outfits and they're fighting this crazy thing, like, what's going on? And then it turned out to just be like a D&D episode where they were just, like, role-playing and it wasn't real. And I'm wondering if this is meant to be, like, a scene from Stolas's gay little erotica book he was reading.
God, I hope so.
It would be so funny.
It would be so funny. I also want, like, any of it to be, like, anything that we really analyze. Well, not anything. Yeah. But a lot, like, I want something that we were like, this is gonna be so dramatic to be stupid. Yeah. Because that would be so funny. I love when that happens.
Yeah, I could just see it as, like, it's Stolas daydreaming. Especially because Blitz is, like, protecting him. And,
yeah,
like,
and Stolas is, like, on the ground, like, holding on to him.
Yeah.
So it could totally be that.
Yeah, that's a very specific prediction, but I had to put it out there. Then there's a little clip of Blitz curling up on his couch. He's all sad, possibly after getting the Asmodean crystal.
Asmodean.
Asmodean.
If you all want a funny that's not what we're doing, Helluva video, look up Stupid Face Helluva Boss. Yeah. It's an animatic.
We were not... Actually, you know what? I'm not going to say what the twist is.
Yeah.
You'll have to have the same reaction that we did.
Yeah, it was fucking a ride.
Yeah. But yeah, it could be after that conversation with Stolas, or it could be a different episode. He is wearing his jacket in this clip, which he's not wearing in any of the other, like, full moon clips that I noted. So it might just be totally unrelated to full moon stuff. I don't know. I think in the trailer it plays, like, after a scene with him and Stolas, which is why I was like, it's full moon, but it might not be.
Might not be.
Also, Mammon is back.
That's it.
That's it. There's a tech deck and a fidget spinner on his desk. Oh no, he's based.
Oh no, he's based. No, I feel like Mammon is that kid in middle school that definitely didn't have ADHD but said they did and were really annoying with fidgets.
Yes, absolutely.
That's
my mom. Yeah.
Because the exact fidgets that those kids would have were the really loud fucking fidget spinners and the tech decks.
Yes.
And that was it. They wouldn't have any of the, like, actual, like, quiet, good fidget toys.
The people who got those fidget toys banned for people who actually
exactly. That's Mammon is.
Yeah.
You can take this, buddy.
Yeah, okay. Fucking Octavia. You never loved Mother, and you don't love me. You love him. I'm going to have a normal reaction to this. No, I feel crazy.
I do want to point out that Audie, when first listening to this trailer, because it happens really fast, and is there captions on it yet? No?
No, only auto-generated ones.
Yeah, thought that it was father, and I was like, I don't think so.
No.
Because I don't think you'd listen to the him part yet, right?
No, I just kept rewinding that part because I was focusing on the visuals.
Yeah,
so
I was like,
rewinding.
no, it's not father, it's mother.
Yeah.
And you were like, no, I'm pretty sure it's father. And then you listen to the whole thing, you're like, it's mother.
I thought she was gonna get Stella's ass, but it's just more Stolas and Octavia angst,
Yeah.
which makes me crazy. But I thought she was gonna fucking snap at her mom.
Yeah.
But yeah, but is this before or after Stolas gives Blitz the crystal?
Yeah.
Is what you asked, and I also ask.
Yeah, because, like, if this is before, is this what Stolas is like, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
And gives him the crystal.
Yeah.
And says the thank you line, and just leaves his ass.
Yeah.
Like, finally fully picking Via. Like,
Yeah.
obviously he is picking Via over him. But...
Wow, and I'm the one who hates trans men.
I'm so fucking sorry. And...
Sorry, I'm sweating.
No, you're good.
Pulling my shirt up.
I was like, what's happening? No, I lost my train of thought.
Choosing Via.
Yeah, him, like, making a statement to be like, Blitz will
Yes.
not be coming around the house anymore.
Yes, yeah. Which, it could be, he's also seemed, like, committed to giving Blitz this crystal for, like, a few episodes now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think, like, to hear Octavia explicitly say, you don't love me to Stolas,
Yeah.
like, it's been kind of clear to us that she has that fear, but for her to explicitly say that to him, that will definitely push him over the edge. Like, maybe, like, at the last second because it seems like him and Blitz are, like, having a good time at first in the full moon episode.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like, maybe, like, at a certain point, like, he runs into his daughter, and she's, like, upset for whatever reason, and she says that, and he's like, okay, I'm ending this, and then he goes and ends it. I could totally see that.
I think also the alternative to it happening before is that it happens after Stolas has cut everything off and gets miserable or something like that. Or, like... or maybe not even miserable, just cuts everything off, and then Via says this, which is like a double-edged sword, saying, like, you love him, go get him, go get your man, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But also, like, you don't love me. Yeah. So then he's like, shit.
Because he does love her, but he does love her more than anything. That should have been their song.
I was gonna say, I think Vivsy got daddy issues. I'm gonna say it. I'm saying it on the podcast.
This is just like how when I was a kid, none of my fictional characters had dads in their lives.
This is just like when I used to play The Sims and just make really fucked up family dynamics, most of which did not have a dad.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah. Also, Octavia calls, she refers to Stolas as dad. Like, not in this, just in general. She always calls him dad. But in this scene, she refers to Stella as mother, which just shows, like, a disconnect. Which is, like, when she says you never loved mother, does Octavia love her mother?
I don't think so.
So why does she... I mean, I know why she... As a child of divorce, I know why she cares. Like, even if you don't care for a parent, you want your parents to love each other. Mm-hmm. So, like...
Also, that you never loved mother.
Yeah.
Like, what has Stella said to her?
Yeah.
Like, what does Octavia think was the circumstances of their marriage? Because their marriage was forced. Mm-hmm. But Octavia probably doesn't know that.
Yeah.
So Octavia probably just thinks that Stolas married her and didn't love her the whole time.
Yeah, God. Also, about what you were saying about, if Octavia says this after Blitz, or after Stolas gives Blitz the crystal, I think that would, like, in the context of, like, Stolas gives Blitz the crystal and is like, Octavia, don't worry, like, he's not gonna be in our lives anymore, you don't have to worry about that, and then she, like, gets upset because, like, she, this is what you were saying, basically, but just, like, she's upset that he cut him out of his life, because I think what she doesn't she doesn't really have a lot of hostility towards Blitz. Like, she doesn't care for him, but she doesn't, like, openly hate him. Then
she likes Luna, though.
She likes Luna. Yeah, and I think it's not that she wants Stolas to get rid of Blitz. She just wants Stolas to love her.
Right.
And he does. She just doesn't see that. But it's...
Also, as a very emotionally dysregulated teenager, I think, her seeing... Like, she's kind of accepted the fact that her dad loves Blitz more than her. And so seeing that change, she's like, no, fuck you. I adjusted to this. You're not allowed to change that.
Yeah.
And, like, also, these are the two, like, lovers that she's seen her dad have, is her mom, who he shoved out, and then Blitz. And so him shoving both of them away, she's gonna be like, no.
And she's gonna be confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was like, you hate her more than you love me, and you love him more than you love me, but now you don't even love him. Like, no, fuck that. Yes, you do. Like, pick one.
Yeah. Get your shit together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last note we have is, there's a little part where Stolas is looking at a picture of Blitz, and then the picture shatters and becomes a mirror while Stolas is looking at it. And let me tell you, I love imagery where people are looking at themselves in shattered mirrors. Holy fucking shit. The motifs, the themes. And then it, like, zooms out to show that, like, the room is, like, full of pictures of Blitz. And also, Blitz was smiling in the pictures, but then right before they shatter, he's frowning, and then they shatter. Yeah.
That's huge.
And then Stolas is just surrounded by these shattered mirrors, which is just fucking...
And that's how it ends?
Not how it ends. That's just the last
Okay, I was gonna say, that's not how it ends.
These notes, again, so jumbled, so out of order.
Right. That's how our notes end. I see.
Yeah. That could be, episode-wise, that could... I really want to know what episode the Octavia stuff is in. Because, I guess... Yeah, if it's before giving Blitz the crystal, then it would definitely be full moon. If it's after, it could be anywhere.
Yeah.
And then,
Dude, generally, I'm just so excited for the rest of the season.
So excited. Dude, the music I'm excited for. We didn't get to hear any of the music.
Yeah.
But I'm so hyped for the music.
Me too.
Yeah. In the like video description on YouTube for this trailer, Vivzy said that about the release of these episodes that they're what everything has been building towards.
Yeah.
It's really gonna be, like, I think, like, not for everything, but very conclusive for, like, the arcs that we've had so far. Like,
I think it's also gonna be really fucking action-packed. Like, it's gonna be all of the characters we've seen, which is crazy.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I'm excited.
Is there 3 or 4 seasons total?
4.
4. I could totally see, and I don't know, this is kind of old, but I could totally see the show taking the route where we have, like, everything builds and the rest of season 2, kind of, it's, like, peaks, like, everything, we kind of hit rock bottom. And then like, Blitz, like, being, like, okay, like, hitting his, like, Dark Night of the Soul, essentially. Yeah. And then season 3 and 4 is him getting his shit together.
Yeah.
I would love that.
But, yeah, I would love that, too. I think Dark Night of the Soul is typically after the halfway point. Like, just
but this is not a traditional
No, not at all. But I think also the halfway point typically in, like, plot structures is, like, either a fake success or a fake failure.
Yeah.
Or a perceived failure or a perceived success.
Yeah.
So that could also be an interesting
That's
route.
true.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm so excited.
When the lull between episodes, sometimes when there's, like, a long hiatus like the one we're on right now, sometimes I'm like, okay, I need a new thing to hyperfixate on. Like, it's not there anymore. But this trailer has reawakened something in me. And I cannot wait for the full moon. And everything that comes after it.
Yeah.
And, yeah. It would be really cool if we could get caught up with the podcast on episodes, like, by the end of this year, by the time season 2 ends, because then I don't know how the podcast would work, like, format wise, because we probably couldn't do bi-weekly episodes if we were.
But we could do
up.
bi-weekly episodes that aren't just episode analysis. We can do those tier lists that we've talked about. We can do all that stuff.
We can do so much bonus content.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Which probably will be the case. I think, just as a heads up for listeners, the beginning of the summer is going to be a little funky for us, especially because we're moving out of college, and then I have surgery. But we will be in the same place.
Yes.
So that, like, that has been a big thing over the breaks, an issue with recording, but we will be in the same place, so we will probably be able to do every 2 weeks most of the time, but that, like June...
June, probably not.
Probably not.
Maybe starting, like, mid-July.
Yeah, and we'll keep you guys updated for sure, but just be aware, like, it's gonna be pretty consistent, if not completely consistent, till the end of May, and then...
Yeah. But I've enjoyed this little sort of non-traditional episode.
Yeah.
And I guess next week I guess that can be our Helluva Q&A. Next week, would you like to hear Exes and Ohs, the beginning of, or would you want to hear Hell's Bells and Look My Way?
Yeah.
I feel like if we don't get a conclusive response, we'll probably do Hell's Bells, Look My Way combo? Or, I don't know.
We'll pick one.
We'll pick one. Yeah,
pick
but
one,
if you have a preference, let us know, and we'll follow what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we talked about stickers, we talked about the Instagram, we talked about the newsletter.
Yep.
Anything else we need to talk about?
Read the Underland Chronicles and then listen to Return to Regalia on Spotify, because tomorrow, as of when this episode comes out, I will be on the podcast for the third time, I think? Fourth time? I don't remember. But I'm on another podcast occasionally, and you should read the books and then listen to the podcast.
Yes. Also, does Return to Regalia team know that you give them a shout out every single Helluva Podcast episode?
I don't know if they know I even have another podcast.
You should, like, tell them.
Maybe.
Anyway, have a good 2 weeks.
Yes.
Stay sexy. Sorry, I stole your line. Go ahead.
Stay sexy.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.